Hello everyone, my name is Wale Faram. I'm a tech entrepreneur and you are watching another episode of Tech Roundup, your weekly opinion, views and analysis of the top tech events happening around the world with a focus on Nigeria. Our anchor story this week is about the unending controversy around SIM card activation ban in Nigeria. Also, you should stay tuned to Tech Roundup Weekly. In late 2020, the federal government directed the NCC to embark on another audit of the subscriber registration database, a process that required all mobile telco subscribers to link their national identity number, or the NIN, with their mobile lines. Mobile network operators were thereby directed to immediately suspend the sale, registration, and activation of new SIM cards until the audit exercise was concluded. The date of conclusion has been shifted at least twice since then. Our anchor story is about the ongoing ban around SIM card registration and the impact of that. I said during the monologue that this new suspension of SIM card registration started again last year, where the federal government through the NCC is trying to match NIN registration with SIM cards and linking the identity. And I think on the surface of it, it makes sense for the government to be able to know who we are as citizens. That can help with governance, that can help with sensors, that can help with a lot of things. But this suspension has been on for a really long time. It's estimated that the losses to the telcos is about 10 billion since that time, and that loss will continue to grow because obviously you're preventing new registrations, so you can add more subscribers to the network. You can add more lines to the network. It's affecting businesses. I run a fintech, and we recently received a notice from the central bank asking us to come up with a list of new devices that we need to activate on the telco network, and I think that's trying to help us to look for a justification for us to be able to do what we need to do for businesses. So the impact of this is quite significant. While I recognize that there is a benefit to what the government is doing, I think the fact that there's no end date in sight has a lot of implications. And I think I've started mentioning them. But just to recap, the revenue implication on the telcos, I think, is significant. I think the revenue and customer acquisition impact on different businesses is significant. I just give an example of the business I run and how that is potentially impacting us going forward. I also feel like the potential impact on customers is also significant. You have travelers coming into the country who do not live here, really need to pick up a SIM to be able to communicate with people. There's really no way for that to happen at this point. So when you look at it, I don't know how to score this, but the longer we wait to get this over, the more the significance of the impact is going to be on people, on businesses. I just wonder when this is going to end, and if there's a need to extend this, can that be extended on one hand for people to continue to do their NIN synchronization with their SIM, but also let other people come in. I think there are more questions around this story than opinions and thoughts, to be honest. But how do you view this?
I mean, you have pretty much said or mentioned the major concerns with this particular story or this particular venture that the government is trying to to undergo. I mean, and I know that the reason behind their decision is very important and very significant. They cited security reasons being, or security purposes being one of the major reasons why they want to limit the use of SIM cards that are not registered, to reduce terrorism and all that. And I get that, and that is so important, so important, especially for us in this country. But the truth is, the way they're going about it is not entirely effective, if I can put it that way. I read somewhere that it took them about 8 years to register 42 million people on the NIN database. I'm now wondering how many more people they can register in the span of how many months, or the limited span of time that they've given for people to get their numbers registered. The impact of this ban is affecting so many people, and not just travelers like you mentioned. I'm talking about people in rural areas that don't have access to systems that enable registration, or that cannot easily go online and sync their NINs with their mobile numbers, like some of us have been able to do in the cities. I mean, it's just the whole process is reflective of how uninclusive some of these decisions by the government can be. So I feel like the ripple effect will also mean that it will cripple a huge chunk of the economy. It could possibly cause social economic problems with people that, like, I'm talking about people in the informal economy, like electricians, traders, and all these people. These are people who depend on their mobile phones and the use of their mobile phones to do business. The pandemic already came with its many issues and reduced income for a lot of these people. So I can imagine how a ban or blocking their lines would affect their income moving forward. So it's a lot to consider, and I mean, I'm all for the idea behind the NIN, and I just feel like this particular approach to ensuring that people register is just going to sabotage all the efforts behind the reason why they are why they have introduced the NIN in the first place. So for this to work, I feel like the government has to consider improving infrastructure, or possibly simplify the registration process, and also be very deliberate about including the vulnerable people in the society, people that are not enlightened, people that don't have broadband reach or internet reach. Make it easier for them to sync their numbers with their NINs. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I get it, but it's still quite a lot. It's quite a lot to do. I don't see how giving a deadline in April or whatever would help any of the questions or the concerns that we have about this particular story.
Now we'll take a short break for highlights from this week in tech. This is Tech Roundup Weekly. Enjoy. That's all we have this week on Tech Roundup. You can catch our full episode on Pop Central TV, DSTV channel 189, starting from this weekend, Sunday at 6:30 p.m. to 7. As always, we'd love to hear your comments and feedback, so please connect with me on LinkedIn at Wale Farong and on Twitter as well. And please remember to subscribe to the Tech Roundup YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Also, please like us on Facebook and on Instagram and be part of our ever vibrant tech community. Have a great week, guys. Until next week, good night.